Welcome. As you're joining us, if I could ask you just to tap your screen and mute your microphone, you'll see it'll come up and have a red line through it just to indicate it's been muted, and it just makes it much easier for Dave and for Lloyd when they're giving their presentation. So just tap the screen and just mute yourself. That just makes it easier for everybody. So welcome. It's a cold Wednesday, I think, everywhere. So what better thing to talk about than holidays and brighter skies than what we've got at the moment. And this afternoon we've got a duet joining us. I think it's the first Zoom I've done with a duet. So welcome to Lloyd and to Dave from Cosmos. They're going to talk to you about the amazing touring program. Cosmos has got a massive history, which I think a lot of you probably know, but they'll talk about, and then they'll obviously move on to talking about the amazing tours and things they offer. So you haven't joined to hear me, so I will pass over very quickly. Before I do so, I'll just say these sessions are run specifically for you. And so please ask away any questions that you get that are queries from the presentation, anything that the boys don't talk about that you want answered, then please tap the screen, press the chat button, ask the question in there, and I will make sure at the end of the session we pick up any questions you have, whatever they are. Like I say, whether they're about the presentation or other things that it kicks off, because this is all about getting the answers you want for your next holiday. So please ask away. It's all part of what we do. So without further ado, I'll pass over to Dave and to Lloyd. Over to you.
Lovely. Thank you very much, Miles. What I'm actually going to do is just see if I can minimize my, just so I can see the whole screen there. Okay, so welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon with me, David Croft, and my colleague Lloyd Morris. Together, we're both regional sales managers for Cosmos and Globus, and we're delighted today to have come together with Miles Morgan Travel to put the presentation on. Before I even get into us, though, I do just want to say, from a tour operator standpoint, we're delighted to be working with Miles Morgan Travel because in terms of looking at agents, you won't see any agents that have worked any harder during the pandemic than Miles Morgan. If you're looking for someone to, sort out all the hassle and really look after you guys, you won't find a better set of agents. So, you're in the right place, and do go to them fully confident knowing that your booking will be taken care of from start to finish. So just thanks to Miles for putting time aside for us today as well, really. So thank you. Moving on then to us at Cosmos and Globus. I guess the first place to start, in case you haven't heard of us, is who are we? Well, we're part of the Globus family of brands, which is, and we specialize in worldwide escorted touring and river cruise. We've been around since 1928, so for over 90 years, and we remain a family-owned independent company. We operate over 500 tours worldwide, and we do more tours to North America and Europe than any other UK tour operator. And I guess what I'm trying to put across there is that we've got the experience and the expertise that only really comes with being around for that long. We've also got big pulling power in terms of the amount of departures and the breadth of product that we have available. But because we're family owned and independent, we're still small enough to care and make sure that it's all about how much you enjoy your holidays. And with Cosmos, Globus, and of course, Avalon Waterways River, we like to think that we do that as well. So now, the reason I've put this one in is because Cosmos have been a fixture in UK travel since the 60s. You may well recognise a few of the brochures. Literally just before everybody entered there, me and Lloyd were talking to Miles, who recognised some of the old brochures from the 80s. And whenever we kind of go around to do our regional shows, so obviously now we're behind the screen today, but normally we'd be face to face, and we talk to customers and agents alike, and they all say that they recognise the brand, or and maybe a couple of you out there will recognise the brochures, but we like to think of ourselves as being fondly remembered, and we used to do package holidays as well as tours. So we normally get someone that said that they'd been on a holiday with us in the 70s or 80s, etc. So we've been around a long time, and again, just kind of pushing home really about how long we've been around and that we've been there and done it, really. So I guess just to rewind a bit, why choose an escorted tour? Previously, perhaps before pandemic and lockdowns and things, you maybe organised a lot of your own tours and felt that worked fine. But I think it's a new world now where if you organise one thing and it goes down, then inevitably, like a house of cards, it can come tumbling down around it. And if you go on an escorted tour with someone like Cosmos, that's not the case. We set the itineraries, arrange and book the flights, hotels, transfers, ground transportation, excursions, and entrance to the attractions. Yeah, there's no driving and no navigating. We plan and arrange all of the routes, so it takes all of the worry out, allowing you to sit back, relax, and enjoy. I mean, if you wanted to do somewhere a little bit closer to home for this summer or next year, for example, like a tour of the Scottish Highlands or Ireland, you know, getting from one destination to the other, that part of the journey, you know, is all of the scenery and everything like that. So you're always kind of experiencing. And to allude back to what I mentioned before, if anything does kind of happen, you've got our experienced tour directors there with you. Average of 23 years experience in the industry, certified experts in the region. So them combined with the backing of our head office to try and get through any issues that may come up, you know that you can book in complete and utter, satisfaction knowing that everything's being taken care of. And I think one of the criticisms often labelled at escorted touring as well is that you have to just go from here to here to here with very little time in the middle. But on a lot of our tours with Cosmos, we've built in a lot of free time as well. So, for example, a Canadian Rockies tour, you'll have 2 nights in Banff National Park, but you'll have one day with an orientation tour, and the second one will be time in which to explore. And, you know, we think that gives, you know, that free time gives you time to individually curate your own tours as well, and, you know, just make it a little bit more about, for yourselves as well. So that's why we feel an escorted tour is very much the way to go. Now I'm just going to, we've got a few videos throughout the presentation today. We like to keep things fresh with some videos. And this one is a video we as a company, Cosmos, made 12 months ago. And I, for one, would never have thought that we'd still be using it 12 months on. It was all about just when people had been locked down and we were being kept away, not just from our loved ones, but also the destinations and everything that we were looking to go to. And, you know, as things are starting to open up, it's just really to say that, you know, we are as determined as our customers, and that when you feel ready and safe to travel, you know, we will be there. So it's just a quick minute video about that.
Do you see it? We can't see the sights that we savored yesterday. The quiet cliff tops, the laughter-filled squares, the wide-open landscapes, the hidden, narrow valleys. But look again. What we can see is something bigger. Do you see it? It's the sacrifice, the kindness, the compassion, the solidarity. For today, we are on a different kind of journey, apart, yet together, inching towards a tomorrow even better than yesterday. Relegated to the slow lane, we can feel, focus, and find meaning like we never have before. We can care, we can protect, and we can still dream. Though it feels like we have been grounded, our minds can still wander anywhere they please. To the vineyards and villages, the ruins and rainforests, and the landmarks and legendary places that will welcome us again. Because we are travelers, and separated, we are united. Confined, we are connected. And together, we will rise, and the world will shine. We can see it.
So yeah, just a short video there to show that, you know, we're just as passionate about you know, touring and traveling as we like to think all of our customers are, and we're ready when you are. Then it also leads us on nicely to our peace of mind policy. Now, we know that people are coming into touring now with perhaps a little bit more apprehension than they ever have in terms of safety on tours, etc. And what we've put together is a 6-point on-trip assurance and dedicated to trying to give our customers more peace of mind. And it's designed to put your mind at rest when you return to your travels. And it's basically going above and beyond with a lot of cleaning protocols. It's far more hand sanitizers, buffet meals being replaced with table service. It's conducting regular temperature checks, basically going above and beyond with all of our health and safety, so that when you are on the tour, you know that everything's being taken care of to make sure your health and safety is our #1 kind of priority, which, you know, was always the case anyway, but now obviously things have been heightened far more. And it's not just in terms of those regular temperature checks, etc. It's You know, we're offering departures with reduced numbers because we know people are going to be more anxious about being in larger groups, etc. And also, we've upgraded all of our listening devices to these wireless listening devices that mean, to give an example, when you're in a city and you see a tour guide and a big crowd of people around them, that might not be something that's for everyone right now because of what's gone on. Our wireless listening devices are so state of the art that you could take a step back to a place where you would feel socially distanced from people and comfortable, and you'd still be able to hear everything the tour guide is saying, so you wouldn't be missing out on your experience whatsoever. And it's those kind of things that are being taken into consideration for our on-trip assurance. Now, my colleague Lloyd is here just to talk about our two brands, which is Cosmos and Globus, and basically to talk a little bit more about just the sheer amount of choice that we have with Cosmos and Globus.
That's great. Thank you very much, Dave. And hello, everybody. So as Dave has previously mentioned there, we have two touring styles available within our portfolio of brands. Cosmos being our affordable adventures and Globus our premium brand. The idea behind having two brands is that we have something for everyone. So whether you're looking for an affordable tour with included highlights and plenty of free time, or more of a premium tour that includes 4 or 5 star hotels amongst the two brands, and we do have something for everyone. Just to take a look at each brand in a little bit more detail, starting with Cosmos.
All right, how are you?
Cosmos Tour.
Oh, sure, take it. Well,
All of our Cosmos hotels
Jab,
are
an hour, I was there.
pre-vetted
Chewing.
to make sure they meet
Let's
our
go us in the
standards. All of our hotels are clean, comfortable, and most importantly, conveniently located. We also promise that our Cosmos hotels will be a minimum of 3 star. Touring with Cosmos is certainly all about the destination. Our tour packages include guided sightseeing and scenic highlights that reveal the best of each destination, but still allowing you that free time to explore independently. We do truly have the perfect balance between sight and leisure. We will ensure you have access to everything that's must-see in that destination, such as on our US Southern Sounds tour, we include a tour of Gracelands and a visit to the Sun Studios in Memphis. But you'll also have that element of free time in Memphis to go off and do as you please, or you are able to add on additional excursions if you wish. And I know Dave has already touched on our tour directors, but we really do have some of the best tour directors in the business. So, from start to finish, our tours are fully escorted by our tour directors, and our local guides will really help bring each destination to life. They're a great source of inside knowledge and can offer suggestions for activities for you to enjoy in your free time, and obviously value for money. So Cosmos is incredible value for money. Our tours start from as little as $4.99 per person. And then on to Globus. So I know we kind of touched on Globus being slightly more premium. So why book a Globus tour? So it's our premium range of tours. With Globus, you get more inclusions featured as standard. So all hotels will be either 4 or 5 star and will always be right in the heart of each destination. So we're talking just steps away from the main attractions. To give you an example, in Venice on our one of our Italian tours, we use the Carlton on the Grand Canal. So a lovely traditional Venetian style hotel, perfectly placed in Venice on the Grand Canal. With Globus, there's no waiting around in long queues. So we include VIP skip the line to attractions as standard, which is a lovely bonus to Globus tours, and meals. So a typical Globus tour would include the majority of his meals as well. So from breakfast at the hotel to authentic dinners at local restaurants to give you a real feel to the destination. And then our biggest selling point of Globus tours is our local favorites. Again, included as standard on all of our Globus itineraries. These local favorites are there to take you off the beaten track, off the tourist trail and into the heart of each destination. So some fantastic examples of local favorites we include are sundown drinks in the bush in South Africa on a safari. We go to Peggy's Cove in Nova Scotia in Halifax, which is a very traditional charming fishing village. And we have whale watching also available in Iceland. We have hundreds of different local favourites from, you know, traditional lobster and a seafood bake on Cape Cod, an overnight stay in a French chateau, fishing lessons in Vietnam, a cooking class in Cape Town. There's loads of different experiences, all tailored to help you guys make the most of each destination and experience the destination like an insider. So back to our Australian safari tour. So one of my personal favourites that really does incorporate some of our amazing local favourites. 21 days, starting in Brisbane and ending in Sydney. So perfect if you've got any animal lovers, photographers, or those wanting to see and learn a little bit more about Australia's unique animals. Highlights of this tour include a behind the scenes tour of the Australian wildlife safari, home to Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter. You get to watch the vets in action and learn a little bit more about a really, really special cause. So a wildlife zoo hospital where you get to go and watch the vets. And it's a really, really, really nice excursion on that itinerary. We also go to Phillip Island to witness the famous penguin parade. There's a koala conservation centre excursion to see the animals up close and learn all about them. There's a visit to Kangaroo Island and also a visit to the famous Kangaroo Sanctuary in Alice Springs. So alongside these fantastic animal encounters, you also have your Great Barrier Reef catamaran cruise, sunset drinks at Ayers Rock, and a walking tour of Sydney Opera House. So some really amazing excursions available on that Australian safari tour. So to hand you back over to Dave, just to talk a little bit about our smaller group tours.
Thanks, Lloyd. So basically from 2021 onwards, we've made some real differences in terms of the number of passengers that we take on a group. For 2021 and 2022, yeah, all departures through South America, Asia and Africa. So what we'd like to call our exotic locations, they will average just 20 to 24 guests. But we haven't stopped there. We've also, you know, again, harking back to what I just said there about the peace of mind, etc. We know that people are perhaps looking for smaller group tours throughout now. So actually we've, on the majority of all of our Europe and North America and Canada, we've also designated small group departures as well. So for example, if we have 20 dates over the course of the year, I think at least 25% of them will be dedicated to having smaller group departures. So again, as always with Cosmos and Globus, it's there just to provide more choice. There'll be some customers out there that, you know, aren't particularly fussed about going on with a smaller group and are happy to go in a normal size coach, which would be between 40 and 48 for us. But then there's others that have said, you know, after a year of being locked behind closed doors, people are anxious about different things. And if you want to go on a smaller group, then we'll have as I said, when I say the majority, it really is very much, there's only a few tours out there now on all of our, you know, ones that go all around the world that don't have the option to go in a smaller group as well. So as we put there, promising room to roam while getting up close and personal with fascinating places. So as always, that Cosmos choice. And speaking of some of the smaller group discoveries, here's a little video, it only lasts about 25 seconds, just of one of my favorite tours that are out there. So take a quick look. This is on safari in Kenya and Tanzania. So yeah, just I can't not nod my head every time I hear the music to that one. But basically, this is say one of my favorites, 11 days with 11 game drives, which is a huge number of inclusions really. And then 10 breakfasts, 9 lunches, 9 dinners through Kenya and Tanzania. And that's, you know, just some of an example of one of our fantastic, you know, small group departures into some of our more exotic locations. I can play that again later for anyone that didn't catch it. I know it whips through a bit quickly, but it's designed to get those scrollers on the computers that go straight past it. So just to give you a little bit of a quick look. I guess what we're trying to say with Cosmos is that there's so much choice. You can see the main wonders of the world, as you can see here: Great Wall of China, Rio de Janeiro, Machu Picchu, etc. You know, if all the big kind of bucket list, must-see sites that everyone is so familiar with, we've got them in abundance. But why not also try and fulfill an ambition on some of our special departures? I mean, not everyone that joins us here today or walks in is going to want to go to the New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Festival or the Albuquerque Balloon Fiesta. But why they're in here is because it's just to show that the genuine breadth of product that we at Cosmos have available. And it's, for example, again, that comes with being a company that's been around for such a long time. In the bottom right-hand corner there, we have Oberammergau in Germany, which is the Passion Play, that happens once every 10 years, postponed from last year, but will be happening in summer 2022. We've been sending people to that for 40, 50 years. And as a result, we've got the pulling power to make sure that we have some of the best seats in the house all the way throughout the season. And that doesn't happen just if you're a fly-by-night company with no kind of substance behind you. That's the kind of thing that we have with Cosmos. And, continuing that theme of faith tours as well, although we have Oberammergau, the Passion Play, we have pilgrimages to Lourdes, spiritual highlights of Italy with faith-based travel, and the Catholic, the Protestant itineraries. Again, they're just 4 of about 20 more religious tours that we have, and all just there to show just the huge amount of product that we have on offer. So regardless of what you think is your ambition or a touring ambition you'd like to achieve, we like to think we'd be able to help you attain it. We also know, though, that people, as I said, are a little bit apprehensive about going too far. So it just so happens we have a big range of UK tours as well, if you're looking to stay a little bit closer to home, which Lloyd will just go into a little bit more detail about.
That's great. Thanks again, Dave. So yeah, that's true. So for anyone looking to stay a little bit closer to home, we have over 25 UK Cosmos and Globus tours available throughout, obviously, England, Scotland, Wales and Ireland. Whether you're looking for a short 6-day hop over to Jersey or a full 24-day journey through Britain and Ireland, we have lots of availability for UK staycations for everybody to enjoy. We also have our brand new Stay and Explore UK tours, which are now available. These wonderful UK tours are designed for our customers to make the most of each destination. So the biggest selling point of these tours is you return to the same base every day. So staying in just one hotel, perfect for travelers that don't necessarily want to move location every couple of days. So we've got 4 itineraries available. So we've got the Scottish Highlands, the Heart of England, Jersey and a Yorkshire Explorer. Again, all 4-star centrally located hotels located right in the heart of the destination. So just to give you an example, on our Jersey itinerary, we stay in the Pomodoro Hotel, which is located right in the centre of St Helier. All of the UK Stay and Explore tours are small group discoveries with an average of just 24 guests per tour. We have no single supplements available on selected itineraries and selected dates as well. One of our top selling itineraries at the moment is the Scottish Highlands Explorer. So a beautiful 6-day itinerary, staying in the centre of Inverness, including 5 breakfasts and 2 dinners. We have dates available in June, September and October this year, priced at just $549 per person. And we do have Bristol flights available as well. Again, we've got a short video just to really bring to life this wonderful destination. So just to pass you back over to Dave, just to talk a little bit about some of our train journeys.
Thanks very much, Lloyd. Yeah, just to, as we're kind of getting towards winding up here, guys, just wanted to also talk about that Cosmos also have some of the most iconic most iconic railway journeys to hand as well. Now, I'm not sure about you, but over the last 12 months, I haven't been able to turn on BBC 2 or 5 without seeing Chris Tarrant or Michael Portillo or even Bill Nighy narrating some of them now, and basically all categorizing, you know, and cataloging these fantastic train journeys across the world. And we've got an awful lot of them available with us. I mean, we have Scenic Switzerland by train. It's a very rare one. It's the Zurich round trip, but the whole trip is based on the rails, and there's no kind of bus journeys in between, which is very rare on you know, these kind of tours. We also have one of my personal favorites, and that's the epic Canadian Train Odyssey, starting in Toronto and ending in Vancouver. But it's the 3-night the train on the Via Rail going from Toronto into Jasper National Park that's the highlight there. And so, you know, we've got them to hand as well. We've also got Western Canada by rail. We'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment, because we have 2 exclusive groups going with Miles Morgan Travel, so we'd like to talk a little bit more detail about that one in a while. But also you'll sometimes find that our tours can contain a train ride as part of a larger tour, like for example the Bullet Train on the Japan Discovery between Mount Fuji and Kyoto. So there's also those ones if they just like to make part of a larger tour. We also have that. And then as we see the Rocky Mountaineer there, we also have some of these, you know, we have the epic trips across Australia on the Indian Pacific, but then we've also got some nostalgic looks at some classic routes from days gone by in the USA between Colorado and New Mexico there, with the historic trains of the Old West. So just again, trying to get across that, you know, if you are, you know, if in the last 12 months you have seen some of these train rides and you're thinking you'd like to kind of get on board and fulfill that, you know, ambition or anything with us, then you absolutely can. You know, we've got them to hand. And as I say, yeah, look, we're just going to talk a little bit more now about this fantastic opportunity for a small group travel with Miles Morgan.
That's great. Thanks again, Dave. So yeah, we wanted to take a moment to look at a really special tour we are running in conjunction with Miles Morgan Travel. So Western Canada by rail. We are running two departure dates in September 2022 that are exclusive to Miles Morgan Travel, and both dates will be hosted by a member of the Miles Morgan team. Certainly, you know, one of our most popular itineraries, a real kind of bucket list trip, Western Canada by rail, traveling through the unforgettable Canadian Rockies with overnight stays in Calgary, Banff National Park, Jasper National Park, Kamloops, Vancouver and Victoria. The perfect opportunity to witness Canada's spectacular scenery and some of its most famous cities. Not forgetting the incredible 2-day Rocky Mountaineer train journey from Jasper to Vancouver. We also have an option to extend on a 7-night Alaskan cruise on board Holland and America. We've got a really awesome video to show you again, really to highlight the amazing selling point of this tour and really bring the destination to life. Yeah, so as we have said this, we've got 2 dates in 2022, 2 trips, one with Portishead and one with Ross and Y. So for any pricing, more information, or if we've got anybody that is looking to book, please contact your local Miles Morgan shop for more information.
Oh, there it is. I knew it happened once.
So just looking to close things up there. So thanks everybody for joining us. So just a really quick summary. Booking with us, we do have greater choice. We have more tours in North America and Europe than any other tour operator, and with over 500 holidays to 76 countries worldwide. And obviously we've got the different touring concepts available as well. All your holidays are fully protected with our peace of mind plan, and we rest assured your holiday is ABTA and ATOL protected. As standard, if your holiday got cancelled for any reason, we would offer you a full refund. And just before we finish up, we also want to let you guys know we have an exclusive offer available with Miles Morgan only. So if you are looking to book any holidays with us departing in 2021 or 2022, we are offering an additional £75 per person off any tour until the 20th of April. So you need to book by the 20th of April. And like I say, this offer is exclusive to Miles Morgan, and you'll only get that additional saving with them. So that is all from us. I'm not sure if there was any questions come through there, Miles.
Oh yes, you've got a question, don't you worry. Let me have a look. Yeah, this one comes up very, very regularly, this question. It's a great question, and that is around solo travelers. So many solo travelers these days, sometimes people on their own, but more often than not, maybe couples where one wants to do one thing and one wants to do a different holiday. So what do you do in terms of solo travelers, Lloyd?
Yeah, so we do cater for solos. We don't have any tours specifically just for solo travelers, but on some of our tours, we set aside so many places that don't have supplements. And on some of our tours, then we welcome singles, but there are supplements. But we do cater for solo travelers.
So there are some tours with no supplement at all.
Yeah, there are some. All of the new UK tours, first for solo travelers to book on those. There's no supplement, and yeah, we can look at supplements on ones that are.
And is that pretty much on all of your destinations worldwide? So somebody wanted to go to Canada or New Zealand, would they find?
Yeah, generally on Canada and New Zealand, there will be a supplement.
There we go. There will be a supplement.
Yeah, there will be. Yeah.
Okay. So best thing to just check the price. We can obviously check the price for.
Yeah, we can check the supplements, and we can work all out for you guys. That's not a problem.
Because quite often, yeah, we do the first few people, isn't it, Lloyd?
The first few on the UK tours are definitely supplement free, and on certain European ones, we have the first few are completely supplement free.
But what I would also say as well is, if, for example, someone came into Miles Morgan and wanted to know more about it, one of the reasons me and Lloyd are on here is because we've got a great relationship with Miles Morgan Travel, and it's not to say that always let us know as well. Always let us know so that we can kind of go in and just see what's available. And it may well be that there's a departure going that it might be more for singles than others. There's always something that perhaps we could do. So don't just assume that there's a supplement. So no, we may be able to do something. So.
What
we all like the sound of that. That sounds like a negotiation. We all like that one. So
I know you like
promising things now. What we can also do as well, Miles, if you've got anybody that wants to on one of our tours, but is worried that we might not have other singles on those trips, we can look to see from our offices around the world how many solo travelers are on each departure.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Yeah,
that's really good. Yeah, really good. I think picking up on the presentation, I think you maybe could have done the presentation the other way around. You perhaps should have covered the countries that you don't go to, because that would have been a very, very short presentation, I think. It's incredibly comprehensive range of product that you've got. And I think, from my experience, I was surprised with the breadth of product that you've got for the UK, for Great Britain. Obviously an extensive range of things, which from people looking today to get a holiday that's going to definitely go ahead at the moment, and they want something for this year, that's obviously a very good option for them.
Definitely.
I completely agree. I mean, to be honest, even though me and I speak for myself, I've been there a couple of years, and I wasn't as aware of our UK offerings as probably as I am now, simply because obviously UK hasn't been, now UK touring and holidays is on everybody's lips at the moment, because that is that. I know I spoke about it a lot in the presentation. There is that level of apprehension, and some people just really want to go away. And suddenly, you wouldn't, maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you wouldn't have thought like a trip to the Scottish Highlands was for you. And now it's all you want, because you want to kind of get out there and enjoy some scenery and something different. Because it's also, sometimes it's not about where you go, it's the feel of being in the hotel and being somewhere different. And if you have to stay on the shores, this summer in order to do it, then so be it. Which is why we've put together those stay and explore tours, simply because it's out of that one base, and starting from I think 549 for Scottish Highlands for 5 nights is a real steal up there as well. Of course we do have those Bristol flights, so just for people looking to just get away. But then we also do a London round trip that goes all the way to the Scottish Highlands, over to Ireland, down through Wales, from Plymouth and back up to London. We've got the lot, so.
Mm-hmm. No, very good. And I think, if you had to steer people in a direction of an overseas holiday that might well travel in 2021 of your destinations, what sort of places are you seeing that are likely to open up first, that people might be able to go with the new government traffic light scheme?
Well, I mean, that's one of those where by the time I finish the sentence, it could be out of date, isn't it, really? But I'd like to think, we do some of the Spanish tours, we do. Italy, they seem to have got their act together, so there's every chance that maybe some of the Italian ones. There's one of my favourites that I'd like to do is Italy, actually, as well. But then we've also got a selection of Cosmos River cruises as well. Just like in case you didn't think we had enough, we've also got Cosmos River cruises that are doing the Douro, and we've got some extremely affordable like Christmas and New Year cruises through the Danube and the Rhine as well. So perhaps around those kind of areas would be something that I would recommend. I don't know if Lloyd feels any different.
Definitely, the Cosmos River program for the Christmas sailings are selling really well, really, really good value for money. And yeah, we really hope that obviously they'll be sailing by then, definitely.
I think for me, the left fielder that I wasn't expecting, that's definitely coming on at a pace, is America, where if you'd asked me at the beginning of this year, I would say there is nobody going to be going from the UK to America in 2021. And now we're looking at Mr. Biden having, successfully done every single adult in the whole of the USA already. And so I can see the USA possibly being on the green travel list relatively soon, which obviously opens up, from a Cosmos perspective, a huge range. The West Coast tours you do are sensational, aren't they? Grand Canyon, Vegas, sensational trips.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, obviously we've kept a very close eye on America over there because it's such a big deal for us. And when the negative kind of press was going through last year, it hurts us because we know how much of the business kind of goes over there and how many fantastic tours that we do. But so to see him come in and the positive press that comes out of America, I mean, you look at how much America is in the news now compared to how it was up until November. It's like night and day, and that's because it's good news. That's now. So as a result, you just see, we've got, as you correctly said, we've got those the Grand Canyon tours, etc., but also the music cities, Nashville, Memphis, those kind of things, the Dixieland and rhythms down to New Orleans and all those kind of things. So yeah, as to see the progress that's making, and people just we've had such a good promotion for 2021. It's unfortunate that because we've had such good promotion, but unfortunately, people have just had that in bit of unsure about whether to go or not. But every day in the positive news means that we're seeing more and more people ready to take the plunge. And of course, most importantly, all of our 2021 bookings come with a peace of mind guarantee, so that right up until final payment date, people can move their tour if they're not completely happy. So if you're due to go in like October, and final payment 8 weeks before, you're still not 100% certain that you want to go, you can absolutely move it from a Cosmos to a Globus or an Avalon, and in 2022, move it to December 2022 by all means. That's absolutely fine, and that comes with all of our 2021 bookings.
That's a really important message. I think in terms of the Miles Morgan escorted tour that you talked around, I think, to be honest with you, we could probably do a whole 40 minutes on. I personally could do a whole 40 minutes on the west coast of Canada. I'm a massive fan, as people that have maybe heard me talk about it before. The destination simply doesn't disappoint at all. In fact, you look at it and go, wow, every time you see the amazing pictures. Oh, I'm sure it won't be that good when I see it in person. And you go to Lake Louise and you see it, and it takes your breath away. The Bouchard Gardens, which you featured on one of the slides in the presentation, I'm a bit of a gardener myself, just blows your mind how fantastic it is. The one thing I have to say that is on the Miles Morgan bucket list is that trip on the cruise up Alaska. That would just be amazing. And every person I've spoken to that's done it has said, oh my God, Miles, you've got to do that. And it's still on my list. So anybody thinking of doing something like this, honestly, get it booked, because it is just the most amazing trip.
Maybe you should host one of the tours, Miles.
Well, I tell you what, Holland America going up from Vancouver. I mean, it doesn't come much better than that, I don't think, to be honest. And a bit of Rocky Mountaineer. I mean, where do I sign, Dave?
I mean, we put that video together. I love that video. In terms of it, and like you say, we are, and we will be doing, if anyone is more interested in those tours, we will be doing specific group presentations for both Portishead and Ross on Wye very soon. So keep an eye out on the Miles Morgan website and for any marketing that's coming if you'd like to know more in detail.
Yeah, and honestly, if you haven't done that part of the world, you absolutely should, because it's breathtaking. Absolutely is breathtaking. So get it on your list. I can't see any other questions, so I tell you what I will do. I'm going to ask you. I'll be fair and I'll ask both of you this. Your product range is huge, as I mentioned. If I can ask you both to just single out, and I will put you on the spot here. If I can ask you both to single out a tour that will be your must-do personally, can you tell us what it will be? And most importantly, for everybody watching this, why? Why are you picking that one above the others? What's it got that's so special that people should do it? Do you want to start, Dave?
I knew it'd be me starting. Yeah, thank you. Well, can I cheat a little bit and say that it'd be the Kenya and Tanzania one that I showed the video of? Because I mean, I made that video simply because I feel so passionate about that tour. I mean, Kenya and Tanzania, 11 days, 11 game drives. I think if you're going to spend the money, you're going to go out to somewhere like, Kenya and Tanzania, really take the plunge, then you're going to want to make sure that you leave no stone unturned in terms of what you're going to see and what you're going to do. And that one really does that. But also you want to have everything sorted for you. So what was it, like 9 breakfasts, 10 dinners, 10 lunches, everything's there sorted as well. So, but that appeals to me hugely, because I'd be very apprehensive about going out there on my own, doing my own thing. So to go out there and have everything done for me in a place like that, where that there would be, you wouldn't know where to go and everything, and that wildlife safari in the course of 2 different countries. So go at the right time of year, you're going to see the buffalo migration, etc. That for me is, because I mean, I used to work on cruise ships, so I've done a lot of the coastal stuff, but something like that in Africa would just blow me away. So that would be mine.
Good answer. Lloyd?
For me, it would be the Western Canada by rail. I want to join the groups next year. No, I'm hoping to actually go on that tour myself this year, hopefully in September. I just think the scenery just looks incredible. Everyone I speak to that has done it, like yourself just cannot speak highly enough about it. The Rocky Mountaineer just looks breathtaking. And I like the idea of combining the bigger cities with the Rockies as well. I don't think I'll have quite enough time to do the Alaska cruise extension. I'm sure work will allow me away for that long. But definitely the Western Canada for me is high.
And even the city bit, when you get to Vancouver is no ordinary city. You've got the amazing Stanley Park that you can visit. You've got the city element of it as well. You know, it truly has got everything.
Yeah.
And
our product's really flexible as well. So if you've got people that, you know, want to go out a couple of nights before and stay in Calgary, you know, 3 nights before they start the tour, and, you know, add a couple of nights on in Vancouver, we can arrange all that in as well. So that's another selling point.
Yeah, that really is, because you kind of think, well, you've got to do what they tell you to do. But actually, with the exception of the tour element itself, you're saying there's lots of flexibility for people to add and do whatever they want at both ends of the tour. That's a big
lots of flexibility. You can add up to 3 nights pre and post tour with us, so that can be instantly quoted as well, which is really, really good.
Yeah, and I think, Dave, with your African one, you know, anybody that's done game drives, if you're doing a proper game drive, you know it is a lottery. That there is no guarantee to see the big 5, and so therefore, you know, the more game drives you get in, the more chance you have of ticking that box of seeing them.
Yeah, that's very true. It's a numbers game, that one. Yeah, it's a bit like like whale watching in Alaska, for example. You know, you've been whale watching, and sometimes you see them, and other times you get a hint of a fin, and that was your lot. You know, so I can imagine safari's a little bit like that. So. Yeah,
I get. Would you like to hear my bad story about whale watching? I'll give you 2 minutes. This is a lesson for anybody booking a holiday. Here's the travel agent gets it wrong. So I go to Kaikoura in New Zealand, which is famous for doing whale watching trips. And I thought, well, I tell you what I'll do. I'll make it the highlight and do it on the last day before we leave Christchurch, because that will be just a brilliant end to our visit to Christchurch. And of course, what happens? The weather turns up to be bad, and the boats can't go out. And of course, because I left it to the last day, we couldn't reschedule and do it another day. So there is a lesson. Don't ever do that. You know, do it the other way around and do it on the first day, just in case anything goes wrong.
Yeah, very true. Yeah.
And I've regretted it ever since, Dave. It's probably 20 years ago, but you don't forget a painful experience like that.
This is true. Yeah. Painful experiences tend to, strangely, they stick in the mind longer, don't they? Yeah.
Well, actually, it's another reason why you do an escorted tour, because those things are thought through properly, and you see absolutely. And one of the great things about doing an escorted tour, they take you to all the best places, you see all the best things, and they do it all at the best times. You know, it's great.
Indeed, yeah, and they do it all the time. So you know, it's routine for them. It's the experience you get isn't routine, but the logistics and everything is routine for them, and that's priceless, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, there are no other questions coming in, so all I can say is, Lloyd, Dave, thank you very, very much for your time this afternoon. If anybody is interested in any of the tours that you do, or particularly the group tours that we're doing to the west coast of Canada, please get in contact with your local shop. One of the questions that came in was also, are you open on Monday the 12th? The answer is, with great delight, yes. Every shop is open on Monday the 12th, and everybody's delighted to be getting back. We're delighted to be getting back, and it's almost the start of the new beginning. So wonderful news for us all. So hopefully lots of the people on the Zoom will be seeing you face to face in the shops over the next few weeks. But thank you everybody for joining. Really appreciate your time. And thank you again to Dave and Lloyd. So thanks very much. Have a great afternoon, everybody.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you for everyone for joining.
Bye.
Bye.
That's that.